What's up, wild animals? I'm Melanie Vesey, and welcome to the Promotional Rescue talk show. I'm a stand-up comedian, actress, and filmmaker, and if you want to see anything that I do about that, you can go to melanievesey.com. But I'm also a promotions consultant. I have my own company called Promotional Rescue, and if you want to see who I work with and what I do, you can visit me at promotionalrescue.com. However, on this talk show, I'm going to be talking with my guests about what they do to help themselves not feel gross about promoting themselves, which is truly my goal, to normalize these conversations about self-promotion. I'm super excited to have this person, my guest, on our show today. You've seen him on LA TV's The Zoo, MTV, and Wendy Williams. Give it up for the amazing, hilarious Nicky Paris.
Hi. Oh my God. Melanie, I've never needed to be rescued more. Us being together right now is so needed, truthfully. I need to thank you for rescuing me.
You're welcome. Sometimes I just want to have I want to get like a little black ambulance with like a gray siren and just drive around town and rescue people's promotions. So
get your life raft ready for me, because I just throw it and I'll doggy paddle to you.
Like a big black helicopter just like coming out of the sky and just dropping down. Mm-hmm. So
you would look good coming out of a helicopter.
You know, I think I would too. However, I am super afraid of anything. I'm actually scared just sitting here, so I don't want to be in the air. I don't want to be in a boat. I hate planes. Like I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to be rooted and sit in one place. So I'm so glad that we are quarantined and I get to visit with you via the wonderful internet, and I get to be with you today. So we're going to talk first about your tips and tricks. Now you are an amazing stand-up comedian. You perform all over. East Coast, West Coast, all around town. You're on TV. You have to be promoting all the time. So tell us, share with us, what are those tips and tricks that really help you get through and not feel gross about it, or feel gross about it? I don't know. How do you feel about it?
Sometimes I do feel a little icky, I would say that, but I think it's a combination of just being authentic, promoting and putting yourself out there, but also I think it needs to be a good balance of putting stuff out there that you're promoting and things that you're trying to sell, but also contributing to the ecosystem that is social media, because there's so much negativity and there's so much hate and filth. And, most of the people that I see that from are in my family. So I need to contribute my own, happiness. I mean, I think it's I think it's being authentic and putting out organic material. And I think that as long as you're true, don't post 100 posters of yourself. I think it has to be about balance, and I think it's contribution. We need more positivity and light right now. You can't be selling all the time. I think it's a good balance.
No, I completely agree. And I talk specifically to that about clients where I go, it's only 20% promotion, 80% content, and content can be anything, right? So it could be your flashback Fridays, it can be, celebrating friends, things that you've seen, inspirational posts, it can be anything that's just not under this umbrella of just the me show, So specifically, what do you do? When you have that content, or you have that day that that you have to kind of stay top of mind or whatever, what is it that you go to when you're totally hey, I'm stumped, but I need to kind of post today?
I kind of just, I kind of have my own social media calendars. I know what I have to do for the week. So, I kind of schedule it out, and I always make sure that when I am promoting things, I'm using strategic drivers. So I'm not just post out there that I'm driving to a link, or I'm driving to a ticket link, or I'm driving to an RSVP. So I always try to be strategic with what I post, so that it's leading to something, there's a direct call to action. For example, especially with stand-up comedy shows, I find that a lot of people don't buy tickets till, about an hour before the show. So always,
Exactly.
Why are you just assuming there's going to be a lot of seats open at my show? It's very hurtful. But people wait until the last minute.
If I could say one thing to any audience out there, when you see that person post about it, just buy the fucking ticket. Just do it. Because what happens is we panic. We think no one's coming. And then the show sells out 2 minutes before or what have you. It is a horror ride for us as the performer. And then we're like, come. And then people don't take action. Then they take action. Then the show's sold out. Then people can't get it. It's just a whole mishigas.
And then they're mad at you.
Like,
And then they're mad at you. I'm sorry. I didn't think I had to bring folding chairs to my own show. You saw the link. Buy the ticket, but I try to be strategic because I know that a lot of people. So what I usually like to do is about a week before.
Yeah.
Because really, like if it's a big show, maybe like a month before, but I try to pace it out so it's digestible. I'm not overwhelming people, and because I am doing so many things, I like to try to give each. I love the swipe ups on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
That makes it so easy to just drive directly to the link. But I think it's just having a calendar for yourself. I think that it kind of feels a lot more like work.
Yeah.
And I think that I try to look at everything like a business person. One of my idols is Susie Orman. So I always just think like a business person, and I try to be strategic and plan things out so I'm not overwhelming people. But you got to promote the shows, especially you produce your own shows. You want to know if the talent that you are putting on it are doing their part.
Yeah, it feels I wish everyone would produce a show so that they understand what that feels like. And I'm not demanding that people bring. I'm not hounding people for selling tickets. I'm just like, hey, here's the flyer, just put it in your feed on all your platforms. That's all I ask, right? And I feel like what that does though also too is if you're promoting the show and you're partnering that producer, it also just makes for a great relationship. And then they know, oh, hey, Melanie's always, or Nikki's always going to promote. They're always going to partner me in this relationship we call show. You know what I mean? In this business we call show. And I love the idea that like, this is a business and you wouldn't not promote your business. You wouldn't not promote your wares or your product. You know what I mean? And you're the product, right? So it's kind of, I think what's also difficult too is we don't want to feel like a product because it is us, you know what I mean? So there is this kind of like thing that you have to do in your mind to frame it so that it feels okay,
I always think that I'm a product. I always say that I'm a product and I don't want to end up on clearance. So I have to work. I have to make sure that the screws are tightened, and to go off what you said about being show business, a lot of people forget that second word.
Yeah.
And it's not in reality. And, you and I both know there are a lot of comics out there. You know what I mean? Unless you're somebody who fills a room or you're in demand on your way up the ladder, I think we're replaceable. We really are.
Yeah.
I always feel replaceable. So I want to feel that I contribute something to the show and I'm doing my part. And I think as a producer, I'm sure you appreciate that.
Oh no, it's what I look for. And I'm always wildly disappointed and what's hard is that sometimes you're looking at two comics, right, who are maybe equal in their ability to put on a great show. One always kills it with promotion, and then one just fucking won't get in the Facebook Messenger or the group chat or whatever where we've got the links, we've got the imagery. Like, if you're a producer and you're doing it right and you're providing everything for those people and they just won't fucking play along, there just gets a point where you're just totally like, I don't know if I want to do it anymore with that person. You know what I mean? Then you're going to gravitate towards that person that's going to kind of like help the show move along, because what are we doing if we're not doing this for people? I mean, if we get down to like why we do comedy or like why we are performers at anything, is we want to bring whatever it is to an audience. And if there's no audience there, then what the fuck? Like, it's just... And on a higher level, once you get to doing it at clubs, they are looking at the stats on the back end. They're looking at how many drinks were sold, how many appetizers were sold, how many people they had to comp, how many people walked through that door, how many clicks on their website. If you don't understand that now and are doing it on a base level just for some bar show, you're not going to have the practice or the wherewithal to do it at a level where you're at, I don't know, the Comedy Store or the Improv or the what have you. You have to start doing it at a lower level to get that practice in.
I want you and Jerry to both know that when this comes out, I'm going to promote this. So I have my Hootsuite. I'm going to get a Promotional Rescue tramp stamp at about 2:00 to do my part to make sure that this is properly promoted. No, but I completely agree with you. And the clubs, certainly, the clubs are very bottom dollar. A lot of people, and if you don't think that, you need to step into reality, because it's all about, ROI.
Yeah.
These clubs have big, big rent, and they have, it really comes down to the drinks, and it's ass and seats.
Yeah. And that's what's so hard. I remember I went to a workshop and they were like, if you could write a joke about buying drinks. And I was like, what? Like that blew my mind, because they was like, yeah, when they at the end of the year look at how many people sold drinks, because that's essentially what it is. It's selling the alcohol, you know, and we all want to think it's because you're so fucking funny, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh my God, what? I have to write a joke about drinks? Yeah. I was like, I'm sober 26 years. I'm like, I don't want to shame these people into buying 8 drinks, you know? Right. So I was like, I got to write a joke about food. I'll eat some mozzarella sticks. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Anyway, that's just like, I
completely agree with you. After a show, I get on my card. I'm like, how many laughs did I have per minute? And how many Mai Tais did I sell? I reflect on it, and that's what it is. You know, it's about money. So for us, you know, as we're building and we're growing, we're establishing that foundation. And I always like to look at it as a tipping point. You know what I mean? Like everything that we do is like water in a glass, and you're just building by being consistent, that hopefully you hope that one day it gets to the point that the water spills.
Yeah, over the top. Yeah, so, okay. I love the not ending up on clearance. That's amazing, right? And so when you're going through, so how often, so when you do this strategy, you look a month out, you do like, what's your kind of like when do you sit down to do that work?
Truthfully, Sundays are my recoup day, that I really will always take Sundays. I'm doing so many different things, and I have so many, every week is so different, that I find that Sundays are a really good way for me to lay out the week. And I will, you know, realize what I have to do. And then like, okay, so I'll have to do a post promote that day, and just kind of plan it all out, because it's easier for me. I'm one of those people that I believe the secret to success is in the setup. So by knowing that I do the work and I allocate the resources that make it easier for me, then I'm not stressed in the minute. So every Sunday I lay out the week, and every Sunday I just try to lay in my bed and recoup. You know, I have no love life. It's very sad. You know, I'm single. I mean, I'm not very good in bed, but that's a different story. So luckily, Melanie, I could bore a necrophiliac, but I don't
believe this at all. I see so much passion in you. Come on.
I am so vain. You know that side. And she's like, well, yeah, that makes sense. No,
you're just like, you're like pillow queening it up, just like.
I lay there. They have to check my pulse. I don't move. It's a good thing that you don't. It's a good thing you don't have me on talk about how to sell my body, because I would be the worst. Nobody would buy. But yeah, I think everybody should have a day where they just recoup and think about strategy. I've learned that with age, because I'm very impulsive, that I was always so go. And I never really, you can work so much more effectively when you have a strategy to what you're doing. And now, like, that's come with age, you know, for sure. And by mistakes, that I really have to sit back and think of the big picture.
Right. Because I feel like what you realize is, if you're going to be doing this long term, right? Like if you're a lifer, like if this isn't something you're doing as a hobby or whatever, you're a lifer, the stress will wear you out faster than anything. And I think that what we start to realize in time is that we're the ones stressing us out. You know, we got the notification about the show 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. I mean, I have some clients, they're booked in 2021. We know about shows in March of next year. You know what I mean? So it's on their calendar. There's plenty of time to promote. I mean, unless someone calls you the day before, even then you could still throw up the flyer in your stories to be like, hey, I've been added to this show last minute. But mostly just trying to get the stress out of this, because the stress eats you alive. It contaminates your brain. And ultimately, the best PR is to have the best product, which is to be the best on stage.
Right. And well, that's the most important thing.
Oh my God, absolutely.
People listen, publicity is a very hard job. And I will say one thing about publicity: you can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink. It's about the product first. That has to be that before anybody even tries to sell you or do anything for you. You have to have that figured out. That's your responsibility as the artist.
Exactly.
That's your job. So you could have a built out product for somebody to sell. But so many people don't do that now. So many people just think that it's magic. No. Like, you really have to look at yourself as a product. It's a business. I mean, I think online marketing is great. I mean, ads are great. You can geo-target based on location, but I still think local newspapers, local radio stations, different things in the area that you could specifically target.
Yeah.
But if you're in a crunch, I think that the best thing you could still do is word of mouth. I mean, it's a little hard with COVID. Put on your mask, stay back 6 feet, but get out on the street and talk to people. I was headlining Caroline's in Times Square last October. Was my big breakout artist show. I wanted to sell it out so bad. I was 12 seats away. The 12 people that didn't come, you're all dead to me. Don't ever ask me for a Tesla. Don't ask me for Louis Vuitton. You're out. And I had, and I got on the street and I stood in front of my poster like a nut job. And I said, oh my God, who's that cute little girl? I was like, just kidding, that's me. And I would talk to people and I sold tickets that way. I sold about 20 tickets a day of the show.
Amazing.
Night before and stand in Times Square and I would just talk to the people going by. So I think that you have to put your pride aside. If you want something bad enough, you'll figure out a way to make it happen. I was just 12 away.
I don't know. I say effort. And here's the thing. There's always those people that flake or whatever, or something happens, whatever, the sitter didn't show up, whatever. To me, you sold out the show. I mean, come on, 12 tickets away. I mean, at Caroline's, that's a big room. It's a big room.
Sad. And so Dean McDermott was open for me, and Tori Spelling was on Instagram Live trying to sell tickets. So that's what hurts the most. I was like, I had all this help, and I still couldn't sell.
But you did it. You did it, and you're going to do it again. Like that. It's for me. It's you worked the muscles, right? So. Yeah. And as you get bigger, that's only gonna help that, right? So those muscles are strong. And then you understood, oh, hey, I've got a friend with a large audience. Hey, can you maybe give this a boost? You know what I mean? Which is leveraging the relationships you already have is perfect, right? Which is why, like you were saying, like this is about making relationships, right? And so making relationships with your audience, keeping relationships with your friends, keeping relationships with good working relationships with the clubs and all that stuff. So this is all totally great. And you are such a powerful example.
I want to say be strategic though about the relationships thing, because I have a big problem with asking. And I didn't ask Tori to help me. I didn't ask Dean to help me because it's very rare. You've known me for a very long time. If I ever asked you for anything.
No.
That's the one thing you can't ask people. You have to be very strategic and harness those relationships. And when you do ask for something, it better be for something good that it counts, because you don't want to be that person, because people ask me for things all the time.
Right.
And it's especially, me and you both, we do many different things.
Yes.
And it's, be strategic on how you use your relationships. Don't abuse.
I couldn't agree more. And it has to be worth it, right? Which is why when I'm talking to people, I'm totally like, when you have something, that's the time to do it, right? So you don't want to waste those tickets on nothing. Oh, I'm just here. Oh, I'm just doing comedy. Like, okay, great, welcome, whatever. But it's like, no, when you have that moment, or you've got those friends that are just totally like, oh, I'm going to do it. You don't have to ask me, right? And we do understand this. Like, if you have relationships with people that just intuitively understand that this is how this works, then they're just going to partner you in it. They're just totally like, oh yeah, no, tell me what to do, and I'll retweet it, I'll post it, I'll help you with that. And I've had many people help like that, which is always amazing. So, okay, this has been amazing so far. So what we're going to do right now is Nicky and I are going to go over to my Patreon, and we're going to talk about the best and the worst thing that's ever happened to him promoting online. So I think that's probably going to be a juicy conversation over there. So if you want to follow Nicky, you can follow him at Nicky Paris Bitch on Instagram. It's going to be good, you guys. Definitely do it. Definitely catch him on TV or whenever he's performing. Watch his videos, engage with him, follow him. He is a gem and a joy. I've been on so many shows with him. He is a fantastic host. Book him, hire him, please. I'm telling you. If you want to follow me, watch my special, see what I do, melanievesey.com, or my biz, promotionalrescue.com. But right now we're going to go over to my Patreon, patreon.com/melanievesey, and we will see you over there.